But nothing I've said until today compares to what you're about to hear now. Hey everyone, I'm Carol Capel. Stop everything and watch today's video on this channel. Today, I don't know if I'm your favorite. I think I'm just shocked, but not surprised. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you what Elon Musk said about Nikola Tesla and why this is very concerning. But before I start this video, I need to give you a message that's super important. On April 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, in other words, from the 5th to the 10th, I'm going to offer 40% off my English course at carolmencina.com. Alright, now that I've given the message, we're going to talk about an interview that Elon Musk gave in 2008. The interview is kind of old, but I need to clarify a few points about Nikola Tesla with you. We already know as a well-known fact that our dear uncle Elon Musk is kind of a revolutionary. And he's becoming, guys, the most famous person in the world. There will come a time when everyone will know who he is. Not yet, because we still have a lot of elderly people on the planet, but soon everyone will know who Elon Musk is, so he's becoming super famous. And here on this channel, we've already talked about several of Elon Musk's feats. We always comment on his achievements, but nothing I've talked about so far compares to what you're about to hear now. Many people ask me to talk about Nikola Tesla, but if you watch my channel, you'll see I talk about him all the time. There are several videos about Tesla here, so pay attention. But Nikola Tesla, unlike Elon Musk, is someone that few people have heard of, and the reason is, wow, it's tough. He's kind of forgotten, kind of left aside, but man, he's responsible for at least 80% of the technologies we use today. So why isn't he famous? In fact, one of Elon Musk's companies is named what? Tesla? Tesla Motors was named in honor of Tesla. Is that really true? Let's see. Although we don't hear much about Tesla, we always hear about Thomas Edison and like, he's the light bulb guy. He's the one who invented the light bulb, right? What do people say? Yeah, that's a lie, okay? I'm going to tell you that's a lie today. Thomas Edison worked with direct current, and he hired Nikola Tesla to improve direct current. And instead of improving it, Tesla ended up developing alternating current from direct current. Thomas Edison had promised to pay $50,000 for this achievement by Tesla. But not only did he not pay what he owed him, he also started trying to discredit Tesla's alternating current to everyone in the history of mankind. Oh, and just so you have an idea, those $50,000 back in 1910 would be worth about $2 to $3 million today. So, like, Thomas Edison promised Tesla a lot of money, but he didn't pay. But as if all that wasn't enough, he went on and started a real campaign to discredit Tesla's work. Just so you have an idea, he would electrocute animals in front of people. He would take elephants, dogs, many of them, and even other animals of different sizes, he would electrocute them in front of people to say that Tesla's alternating current was dangerous. He also did this same demonstration with volunteer people. On top of all that, as if all that wasn't enough, which I already think is pretty sociopathic, he went and launched a huge campaign saying that alternating current would burn down cities and could destroy planet Earth, even though he knew that was a lie. It's because the achievement wasn't his. Now, do you guys remember the lamp? You're going to say, but Carol, he made the lamp. No, guys, he didn't make the lamp. He bought the rights from a guy named Henry Howard, who's also not as famous as him, and improved on those rights. When the lamp lit up, he claimed it was his idea. In other words, we've got the wrong heroes. We've always had the wrong heroes. So, guys, he wasn't an inventor like people say. He was just a good marketer. He took other people's work, bought the patents because he had a lot of money and government support too, and then he would say, I was the one who did it. Now, do you want to know something that Thomas Edison actually invented? The electric chair. Through direct current, which was what he was already working on, he created and sold thousands of electric chairs to the American government. where many people were unjustly executed. Look at that. Well, at least he invented something, right? We can already call him an inventor. And more than 130 years later, that is today, we still use Tesla's alternating current, right? So, like, why do we never hear about him? I had to give you all this background and tell you everything that Thomas Edison didn't do and took from others, so you can now understand why what Uncle Elon Musk said about Tesla and Edison is very important for this conversation. You're going to watch now a clip that I took from an interview with Elon Musk with Portuguese subtitles made by me. Speaking of people who inspire me, of all the obvious people who inspire me, certainly Thomas Edison is an inspiration. Probably one of my biggest inspirations.
Did you study his life?
Yes, I read books about him for sure. And there's this whole contrast of Edison versus Tesla, and the car company is called Tesla. And the reason it's called Tesla is because the cars use Tesla's alternating current. Tesla deserves more recognition than he has in today's society. But if you weigh it, I'm a big fan of Edison, because Edison brought things to market and made his inventions accessible to the world, while Tesla didn't exactly do that. You know, the more I get to know Elon Musk, the more concerned I become. However, I don't really get scared because I don't expect much from people. But in fact, it seems like there's something there that's catching my attention, lighting up my Thomas Edison light bulb. The funniest thing about all this is that Elon Musk owns a car company, Tesla Motors. Why didn't he name it Edison Motors? Well, maybe it's because the name Tesla is more successful and sells more, right, marketing guy? Like I said, this interview is from 2008, and we can see that Elon Musk has Thomas Edison as his role model exactly because he's doing the same thing Thomas Edison did. Elon Musk never invented anything. He never created anything. He's just buying other people's patents and saying, I did it. Taking credit for other people's work. I'm not the one saying this, okay? I want you to go research and read the statements from former employees of Tesla Motors, SpaceX, and other companies owned by Uncle Elon. In any case, Elon Musk never gave credit to Nikola Tesla for using the Tesla name. A lot of people think Tesla is just the name of the car company, but the name actually came from Nikola Tesla, and he never gave credit to Tesla. And then when things started to get really bad for him, why? Because Nikola Tesla was Serbian. And then, guys, there's a museum in Serbia that's dedicated to Nikola Tesla and all his work. I've never been, but I want to go. It's right next to my house. I live in Poland, for those who don't know. So what did Elon do? When the museum started criticizing him, saying he used the name without giving credit, he went there and made a donation of $1 million to the Tesla Museum in Serbia. But you know how it is, right? And what is $1 million compared to the profitability and the amount of money that Tesla Motors makes every day? Nothing. And the guy's work keeps being undervalued. It's that famous charity marketing, right? Which is really common nowadays. So like, it doesn't matter if I'm doing it for good or to help someone. Actually, I want to do it to show off and prove that I'm doing charity. That's what you see most in the world, this charity marketing. Even here on YouTube, people who criticize certain things but then go and do charity for those same things they criticized. And then everyone just applauds the charity, forgetting what the person did in the past. That's very common. In any case, history repeats itself. Why? Because Elon Musk is as brilliant as Thomas Edison. He doesn't do anything, but he takes credit for what other people have done. And then, because he has a lot of money, he ends up buying other things. So he's not an inventor. He's just a billionaire marketer. He buys things and says, I was the one who did it. History repeats itself. The pattern is the same. We just have to see what the next electric chair Elon Musk will create, right? Since most people don't know the story I just told you about Thomas Edison and how he was actually a real jerk, people think that Elon Musk being inspired by and using Thomas Edison as a role model is a wonderful thing because in school we learned that he was awesome. Isn't that right? This story I just told you isn't written in the history books, and it never will be. Never. I don't know what you guys think, but electrocuting people, dogs, and elephants in public just to prove that someone else wasn't as remarkable as he was is something a sociopath would do. Sorry, I might be wrong, but anyway, this is Thomas Edison. And then someone comes along, says they're very inspired by the achievements of this person who used to electrocute elephants and who created the electric chair, and is now launching 12,000 satellites that will circle the entire world and watch over the whole planet, creating a total of 0% blind spots on this planet, implanting chips in people's heads with the promise of improving your life. Guys, I'm sorry, but I just can't accept that. I'd like to know your thoughts on the story of Thomas Edison and Tesla, if you're familiar with it. And for those claiming I don't discuss Tesla, there are numerous videos about him on this channel. Just click, I'll leave the links below in the description, and you can watch them. That's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you like these topics, let me know here in the comments, because I love talking about these things. And especially to bring you the demystification of so-called absolute truths, like this one about the light bulb. I'll see you in our next videos. Goodbye.